Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet. Matt from IPMNation.com, sitting here at The Planet, as always, with Tim Martin working the board. Tim has a great operation called CentralNHEvents.com. If you need a DJ, well, I kind of stumbled on that. If you need I was listening to My Generation by The Who earlier. Now I'm stuttering. If you need a DJ for your event, definitely go to CentralNHEvents.com and contact Tim. And sitting here today with officially the youngest guest we've ever had here on Local Outbreak, Emma B. Gelinas. How are you, Emma?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Welcome to the show. How old are you?
I'm 13.
13. Already starting your career. That's awesome.
Yep.
That's very cool. And your dad is here with you?
Yep.
Hi, everybody.
And that's Bob?
Yes.
Hi, Bob. Bob Gelinas. Do you have a middle initial, Bob?
M.
Bob M. Gelinas?
Yes.
So looking forward to talking to both of you. And but why don't we start with this? What are we going to play to open the show, Emma?
All God's Children, Great and Small.
All right, sounds good. This is All God's Children, Great and Small from Emma B. Gelinas here on Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet.
might live. Give them a home.
Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet, Matt from IPMNation.com. And our guest this week, Emma B. Gelinas, and her dad, Bob M. Gelinas. Did I get the middle initial right?
That's right.
Is also here with Emma. And Emma, how long have you been doing this? You're so young. When did you start?
I've been singing since I was 7.
Okay.
So about 6 years.
Okay. And when did you start recording music?
I started recording music at 10.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. When was your first time in a studio? Were these tunes that we're hearing tonight done in a studio, or?
Yeah, it was done in a studio, and the first time that I've been in a studio was at 10.
Okay. No kidding.
Yep.
Yeah. So you knew from an extremely young age that you wanted to do this, obviously. So
Yeah.
that's really cool. And obviously, Bob, you've been a supportive father, certainly.
Yeah, and she has a supportive mother as well.
That's great.
Gotta mention there, I'll be in trouble. But yeah, she started at 7, taking professional singing lessons and stuff.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we've supported her, and certainly support whatever way she goes moving forward with it as well.
Yeah, that's great. How many songs have you recorded, Emma, at this point?
We've recorded probably about 7 songs.
Okay. Now, have you put out an album, or are you just doing them one single at a time at this point?
We've been doing one single at a time, but we're hoping. It's been over a period of years that we started to add some songs to make an album, but we haven't officially made a full album with more than a few songs.
Okay.
But we're hoping to get one out eventually, probably maybe next spring.
Sure.
And I'm probably going to have a few originals on there as well.
Cool. Are you writing your own material?
Yeah. My dad has written the ones that we've already done, but I've been working on some, so hopefully we'll be recording those.
Oh, okay. So, Bob, did you write this?
She's got to talk to her manager first, though.
Yes. Bob, are you also her manager?
Yes. Yeah. It's a very low-paying job.
I understand. Yeah. It always is in the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely.
But so, Bob, you've had a hand in the writing up to now? Or?
Yeah, we. I've always liked to write, and being an older father. You mentioned during the break that you listen to The Who. Well, I'm from, I grew up in the 60s and the 70s,
Sure.
Back with Steven Tyler and stuff. So, so I have a pretty extensive music background and stuff like that. So
yeah.
I wanted to kind of try my hand at writing some of the music and stuff that we're writing, because the difficult thing is with someone her age is that finding appropriate music.
Sure.
And so we kind of went cause oriented, I would say, at first.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
Is this your first time writing?
Yeah.
For Emma? This is your first time writing?
Yeah,
songs?
we like I said, we started out with the song you just heard, "All God's Children." That was the very first song we did. That was a big learning experience. I learned what not to do, and sort of thing. So we learned a lot on that song, didn't we, Emma? Mm-hmm. And so, then we've, added new songs. We're working, I'm working on some new stuff, and she's starting to work on her stuff as well. So eventually some of mine will probably bump from the album. So,
But All God's Children, too, was made for a purpose, because I know that me and my dad both felt very strongly about animal abuse, mm-hmm. and we raised money for the Cuchillo Humane Society.
Okay.
And we raised over $250. We just, I know that I have a thing for animals. And sorry, I have a thing for animals, and I just wanted to do something to help.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's just water. So was that song specifically was to raise money for that organization?
Yes.
Very cool. So how do you do that with the song? Do you just sell them? And
well, what we did was we have a fair in Farmington known as Heyday.
Okay.
And we recorded the song, and we made the CD cover and everything, and we got in touch with the Cuchillo Humane Society, and asked them what we could do to help, and they were really good about it. They helped out immensely, and we had a booth at Heyday, and we had a raffle. We had a raffle for different things.
Sure.
And it went really well, and we'd sell the CDs and we'd do the raffle tickets. So, having that all together, we raised over $250.
Very good, very good. Have you worked with any other charities as well, or do you intend to?
Well, we intend to work with more charities. I know we were planning on working with Africare, an organization for kids in Africa.
Oh,
but
very good.
I definitely have other plans to help out those in need.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. And have you performed live much?
Oh, yes, plenty.
Yeah.
I performed about... How many times have I performed at the Deerfield Fair?
This will be her third year at the Deerfield Fair.
Oh, very good.
2 years ago, when she was 11, she did 3 shows, 1 hour sets, basically.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
And last year she did 7 1 hour sets over 3 days.
No kidding. That's a lot.
And and she won't be. We're going a little bit more for. Less on the quantity and a little more for the quality.
Sure.
Because she was, her voice was pretty ragged after the end of 7 shows in 3 days. But this year she'll be doing 3 shows again at the Deerfield Fair.
Oh, very good.
She's starting to become, quite known at the fair and stuff, and people know her as each year it's 1 year older. The 11-year-old Emma B, and then 12-year-old Emma B, and this year will be 13-year-old Emma B. So
that's cool. Emma, do you do anything for your voice to kind of preserve it when you're in those situations where you're going to be singing that much?
Well, I take singing lessons. Mm-hmm. I've had different vocal teachers, but I've had one from the Berklee School of Music.
Oh, good.
Who's very good and has helped very much. I sing a lot, but I think it's always good to make time for yourself, but especially for your voice, because your voice needs a downtime too.
Sure.
Sometimes it can be hard when you're singing a lot, but really I just try to get a really good night's sleep and try to make sure to drink a lot of water and never drink a lot of soda when you're about to sing.
Right. No, that's good.
Matt, you mentioned some of the other, or just to mention some of the other live shows she's done.
Sure.
She's been singing at UNH for the men's hockey games for doing the national anthem for the past three years.
And I've sung at Foxwoods Casino.
Really?
In Connecticut. Yep. I did.
That was community auditions. Yeah. Yep. And she's done a lot of freedom fests and stuff like that. So she has quite a bit of live experience. She's actually,
and I've done local Dancing with the Stars contests.
Oh, no kidding.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I've competed in a lot of local contests, and they've always been really fun and a good experience.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
And now she's competing in a show down in Boston called the Deborah Crosby Talent Quest Show.
Sure.
Which is on my TV on Sunday mornings at 11, right after your show.
Oh, okay.
And so she just recently competed in, for the show and stuff. She got best vocal and stuff. So she'll go on to compete for the finals at the end of the year and stuff.
Very good, very good. Yeah. Do you get nervous in those types of situations?
No, I've just done it so much it just comes natural.
Yeah.
Obviously at first, when I started singing at my school when I was younger, I was a big fan of Annie. Mm-hmm. So I used to sing a lot of Annie songs. But, I got a little nervous then, and I think it's always the most nerve-wracking when you're singing in front of people, like your friends.
Right.
That's
people
always the most nerve-wracking. Yeah. But, it pretty much comes natural.
Yeah. Good. Now, when you perform live, do you perform with a CD, or do you have a band?
Yeah. We, I'm pretty much one-man wolf pack.
Yeah.
I have karaoke.
Okay. Okay.
We like to think of them as tracks, not karaoke.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, karaoke is something different.
Yeah.
Karaoke's drunk people butchering popular songs. You want to stay away from that. I don't like karaoke much. So you're working toward a full-length album. Do you know when that's going to be done, or can you say at this point?
Yeah, probably about next spring.
Oh, next spring. Okay, that's right. You did mention that earlier.
Yep.
And will it be an actual full length or an EP, or what are you shooting for?
A full length.
Yeah.
There's going to be, songs from my dad and then songs from me. I know it's exciting. I know for me personally that I'm going to be having my own original songs be recorded.
Yeah, very cool.
And we're also, because again, Emma's so young, she's kind of trying to find where her niche is, and
sure.
I mean, she has kind of a lot of niches. 'Cause she, like she said, she likes country, R&B, inspirational, those sorts of things, and. But we've also, I've been looking at, other people, who are writing songs and stuff in the industry and stuff, and so, we're going to try to keep it as original as it can be.
Sure.
She just did, record Imagine, and which came out, beautifully, and so that'll certainly be on, the album and stuff, because we've licensed that. But,
yeah, that's great.
But we're constantly looking for new music, but also, we've got some other stuff that we're working on, and I'm excited to see her record some of her own stuff as well.
Yeah. When you guys started on this journey, I mean, Bob, from your point of view, being the one who's kind of managing Emma, did you think in the beginning that it would get as far as it already has? I mean, because it seems like it's kind of taken on a life of its own. She's definitely building a name.
Yeah. Well, I'm a firm believer, having grown up, I always believe that the cream rises to the top,
sure.
And I think you see it in American Idol, this year, the quality of talent and stuff that they've had and stuff. I mean, you listen to a lot of music out there, and it's the same thing over and over and over again, the same line. There's no quality to the music and stuff, and I think she brings a perspective. She's young, she's vivacious, where she really can kind of give it her all, but she also has a voice that's ahead of her age,
right?
And just blows you away. And the more people listen to her, the more they get blown away.
Yeah. Is it a lot of work to keep up with it? As far in terms of managing what's going on, and
yes and no. I mean, I think we've starting to get to the stage now where we're starting to turn some things down, because you just can't do everything,
right?
And
that's a good problem to have. That's a good when you get to that point where you have to actually say no to some things, as opposed to in the beginning where you have to kind of grasp at whatever opportunities are there. So that's good. I
think as her manager, I mean, for me, it's learning, what her limitations and stuff are too, because she is young, and but at the same time, don't want to push her to the point where she's hurting her voice or whatever, and so constantly have to listen to her, and and the one thing I've really learned is that not to overbook her, because I've done that before and paid the price. Right.
Absolutely. Emma, what's your long-term plan here? Do you think you want to do this for a career? I mean, you're only 13. You probably change your mind a million times, but I mean, how do you feel right now about it, looking into the future?
Well, I feel, that what happens. I believe that, God has a plan for me, and whatever path, I just got to follow the path. Yeah. Obviously, I do other things. I've thought about, being a doctor or, being, going into being a historian, but, I feel like whatever happens will happen.
Yeah. Good. Well, in the meantime, you're making the most of the opportunities in front of you, and I think that's great. Yeah. I wish that I had that kind of drive and focus when I was 13. I certainly did not. So I think that's a great thing, and it's great that you have supportive parents who are really stepping up.
They're very supportive.
Not just your dad, because we don't want to get him in trouble, so we got to make sure we say supportive parents.
Well, my mom's been very supportive too.
No, good.
And so has my whole family, and especially my also my grandmother, Barbara Fecto.
Yeah.
She's a great woman, and she's been to every show of mine.
Oh,
so
that's
I call
cool.
that dedication.
Absolutely. Very cool. Very cool. Well, why don't we play another song? What do you guys want to play? You brought a few things with
we'll
you.
play Be the Change.
Okay. Very cool. What is this about?
Be the Change is practically what the name says. Be who you are, but that you can change bad things that are happening around you, and make it good. That the world is a much better place than we may think it is.
Right. Cool. Okay. All right, let's hear it. This is Be the Change from Emma B. Gelinas here on Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet.
We live in a world all tattered and torn. War and violence, this seems to be the norm. Children are starving and dying every day. Everyone believes that faith is the only way. Open your heart, feel the sun, take your gift and let it run. The message lies within for those who will wait. Be the change that you want the world to make. Be the change, be the change, be the change. Be the change that you want the world to make. Be the change, be the change, be the change. We criticize each other, our news is negative. Good is bad and bad is good. This is how we live. Murder, hate, and greed, it doesn't have to be. So let's open our arms to others for all the world to see. Open your heart, feel the sun, take your gift and let it run. The message lies within for those who will wait. Be the change that you want the world to make. Be the change, be the change, be the change. Be the change that you want the world to make. Be the change, be the change, be the change. Love has no boundaries, yes, God loves us all. The message lies within, just listen to His call. Be the change that you want the world to make. Be the change, be the change, be the change. Be the change that you want the world to make. Be the change, be the change, be the change. Be the change, be the change, be the change.
100.1 The Planet's Local Outbreak with IPMNation.com.
Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet, Matt from IPMNation.com, here with Emma B. Gelinas and her dad, Bob M. Gelinas. That's like, I like the consistency of the middle initials, And Emma, what do you have coming up that you want to mention?
Well, I have the Deerfield Fair coming up on October 1st and 2nd.
Okay.
I also have a what do I have coming up? I have a sorry. What was it?
You have a
Oh yes. I have. I'm singing at the Corinne School of Dance recital.
Okay.
I dance there actually.
Oh, okay.
So
She's got a few things coming up as well, probably in July, that she probably doesn't know about yet.
Yeah. Surprise.
Yeah. But she has a couple of things in the works, but they haven't been finalized yet. So,
Okay. And where's the best place online to keep up with what's going on?
EmmaBGelinas.com.
Okay.
And also my fan page on Facebook, which is just Emma B. Gelinas and music.
Okay.
And also Reverb Nation.
Yeah,
Emma B.
that's where I
Gelinas.
found you. Yeah,
Yep.
Reverb Nation, which is a great site.
Yep.
Absolutely. And can you spell Gelinas for the spelling impaired who are looking for you?
Yes. Gelinas is spelled Gelinas.
All right, very good. Well, I want to thank both of you for being here with us tonight.
Thank you.
This has been really cool. Like I said, you hold the record for youngest guest so far.
Yes,
so far. So we'll see what
I must
future
hold the
holds.
record for the oldest guest, being in my 50s and
Not
stuff. So.
necessarily.
No?
I don't know. Tim, how old?
If you want the record.
Yeah, if you want the record, you can have it. We'll make it official.
The
We'll-
oldest and youngest together.
We'll put you in the
That's
book.
right.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. We'll go with that.
Just don't call me her granddad. I've gotten that before.
Oh no, really?
Yeah.
That's annoying, huh?
Yeah.
That's funny. All right, and I want to thank, as always, Tim Martin for working the board tonight here on Local Outbreak. Go to centralnhevents.com if you'd like to book Tim for your event. He's a great DJ and will do a great job. centralnhevents.com, and I think he has a picture up there now in his fancy new haircut, or maybe it was pre-haircut. I don't know. I'll have to look at the site and find out. And Emma, what do you want to wrap up the show with? We'll play one more.
I'd like to wrap it up with "We Need Your Star."
Okay. Very good. We Need Your Star from Emma B. Gelinas here on Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet. Thanks to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your radiant gift, once marked by a star, beautiful and bright, we came from afar. That dungeon beneath a sawed-off tree, it blinds our world, helps set us free. Faith, hope, and love, your gifts that night. Where is your light? We need your star to light the way. It's meaningful brilliance to light each day. We need your star to make the world right. We need your star to make the world bright. Through all the wrapping, the bows and the toys, I no longer see your baby boy. His message of love been lost over time. Instead, what's important is so hard to find. Faith, hope, and love, your gifts that night. Where is your light? We need your star to light the way. It's meaning.
100.1 The Planet's Local Outbreak with IPMNation.com.
The Planet's Local Outbreak is recorded weekly at the studios of 100.1 The Planet. It's engineered by Tim Martin of CentralNHEvents.com. Matt Connerton of IPMNation.com is the host of The Planet's Local Outbreak. The show is produced and edited by Annie Biello of 100.1 The Planet. For artist links and details about The Planet's Local Outbreak, log on to The Planet's Entertain Me page, WPNHFM.com. The Planet's Local Outbreak is available for download anytime online, IPMNation.com/local outbreak. The Planet's Local Outbreak is a product of 100.1 The Planet and Northeast Communications.